Jimmy Fallon, host of The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, was among a number of television presenters to give their heartfelt thanks to Queen Elizabeth II in televised tributes across the world. The presenter, usually known for his quick-witted comedy, gave a serious and emotional tribute to the late monarch, reminiscing on how he always wanted her to be a guest on his show. Countless celebrities, leaders and royals have made tributes to Queen Elizabeth since news of her death took over headlines across the world. Speaking on the show shortly after the news broke, Fallon shared an intimate tribute to the late Queen, revealing, "As a talk show host you often get asked the question, who would be your dream guest? My answer was always the Queen. I've always been a fan. I've admired the way she conducted herself, always with class, grace and dignity, but also she had a great sense of humor. She was very funny and I loved that about her. She leaves behind a great legacy and she will be missed but not forgotten." A few days after his tribute, Fallon returned to his usual comedic content, after King Charles III made his first official statement as a monarch, saying, "He's now the oldest person ever to assume the British throne, but weirdly he's still too young to be a US president." The host also joked that there may be some nepotism involved in the royal family as Prince William assumes his father's role as Prince of Wales. Fallon was not the only light-hearted host to take a serious turn in his tribute to the late monarch, as London-born host James Corden shared his heartfelt thanks for the only queen most of us have ever known. In a 3-minute-long tribute, The Late Late Show with James Corden host said, "We viewed her as immortal, an essential part of the fabric of our world. There is of course an outpouring of grief and love across the globe. She was universally adored. She represented good in this world, living a life of honor, a life dedicated to service, dedicated to bettering the lives of others. For 70 years she never wavered, she was never political. She didn't need us to hear her opinions. She never gave an interview. She never posted on social media. It was never for her about her own PR. Maybe that's why she was as beloved and respected by a president as she was by a guy who lives down the street, and she would treat both of them equally too. A life's work never to be repeated." Corden has a specially close bond with the royals, as he met Princess Anne in Buckingham Palace in 2015 when he received an OBE for his services to drama. In an interview with Stephen Colbert on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Corden recalled receiving his award as he admitted he had no idea what he had done to achieve it. He described the palace as not too shabby and joked, "There's fewer pictures of the Queen in Buckingham Palace than you have of your own face in your studio. Don't miss." Rounding up the trifecta of late-night talk show tributes, Jimmy Kimmel also made a somewhat more light-hearted tribute than his counterparts. Speaking to his studio audience as he opened Jimmy Kimmel Live, the host addressed her death, "I hope you're not just finding out about it." Comparing American and British culture, the presenter said, "The Queen is known as England's rock, we don't have a rock. The closest thing we have to a rock in America is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. When you think about all the people that the Queen has met with over the last 70 years, it's really remarkable. She's met anyone from Lady Bird Johnson to Lady Gaga, from Bill Clinton to Will. I.am, she met the Beatles and the Spice Girls." Then, displaying a photo of the Queen from her days in the army alongside her walking behind former President Donald Trump, the host exclaimed, "She stood up to fascists and she stood behind them. Alluding to the recent scandalous premiere of Don't Worry Darling, Kimmel added, "After all these years, this week she saw Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine and said okay, I've had enough. We send positive thoughts to our friends in the UK and also to all the American ants who are obsessed with the royal family for reasons I will never understand."